On the far side of the globe lies a continent among the others, the continent of Africa. Although believed to be the cradle of life and all civilization, the African continent is very diverse and comprises of 54 countries, each one unique and teeming with culture and traditions, from the hot sub-Saharan desert to wildlife teeming in the African plains. Africa is home to abundant wildlife, natural resources, forests, massive lakes, and waterfalls. It is for this reason that Africa was colonized by several European powers, and yet Africa continues to have its resources extracted. In recent times, the African continent has continued to gain the attention of new emergent superpowers to the east, while continuing to court the United States for funding. This could clearly be seen in the just concluded US-Africa Summit, which was held in December 2022. The last time such a summit was held was back in 2014. The event was attended by 49 African presidents as well as their delegates. Yet the true jewels of Africa are not the resources, but rather the people, especially the future generation. While the developed nation's population is projected to decline, Africa's population is expected to double to about 2.4 billion people in 2050, with half of that population being less than 25 years old. It is therefore important to ensure that the youth are empowered and equipped in solving the challenges Africa faces. This is Africa Rising, a series dedicated to understanding the challenges Africa faces, the misconceptions, as well as solutions needed to move the continent of Africa forward. Can Africa industrialize? I believe that Africa can industrialize, especially once the two main infrastructural needs are put in place. In episode 2, we discovered the need for infrastructure, most especially two basic infrastructural needs that could help catapult Africa to the next level. I highly recommend checking out the second episode if you haven't done so already. Also, please like, share, and subscribe, as this will help spread the series with others across the globe. The fastest path to Africa industrializing requires the need for each African country to specialize and have a niche so as to compete in the global economy. The importance of specialization is that it allows a country to focus their resources and efforts on a specific sector, such as manufacturing or agriculture, where they could develop an expertise. This expertise can then be used to increase the country's exports and boost the economy. Specializing in a certain sector can also help to reduce costs, as resources can be used more efficiently and effectively. At the start of the push towards globalization in the early 2000s, it was interesting to watch as both China and India began to specialize. During this time, China began to focus heavily on enhancing their competencies on being the most affordable nation for manufacturing of products, while India focused heavily on being able to provide services, most especially in software development, telecommunications, and as such positioned themselves as the place to outsource all customer service related concerns. As such, a lot of Western companies, in order to maximize profits, would design the product in-house but outsource the entire manufacturing process, including quality control, to China. The same thing applied with services. Companies would outsource aspects of software development, call center functions over to India as a way to maximize profits. With the rise of outsourcing of manufacturing and services to both China and India respectively, this saw their economies boom as they continued to enhance and perfect these specializations, leading rise to marketplaces such as Alibaba and other powerhouses like Cognizant for services. During the development and enhancement of specializations, the government of both India and China put in place policies that were designed to encourage transfer of knowledge to their citizens, the hiring of citizens, as well as a measure by which foreign-based companies could monetarily contribute back to the development of local talent and capacity. Africa likewise can specialize as a way to industrialize based on some of these factors. Number one, geographic positioning. Specializations could arise based on a country's strategic geographic position on the continent. For example, African countries located in the desert areas might be better suited for the development of large swaths of solar array farms. Likewise, those located across the equator line might be best suited for handling outsourced customer service functions, such as handling call centers due to the time zone difference, which is closer to that of most developed countries. In the second area, natural resources, they could specialize based on natural resources available within each country being blessed with natural resources such as agricultural products or mineral resources such as gold, silver, might be able to develop processing plants in order to convert these products from their raw state into finished goods. By developing large-scale processing centers locally within each country, it reduces the need for heavy hauling and transportation costs required to export the raw materials to other countries before the products are processed. Once the goods are already processed locally, in their process state, they are more portable and ready for export within the continent of Africa as well as globally. Number three, the third area by which Africa could specialize based off of would be human capital. Due to the fact that there are several languages such as English, French, Dutch, Arabic, and more being spoken across the African country, and also due to the fact that there are lots of educated Africans, it is in the best interest that more of the local citizenry could be trained to provide support for services in a wide variety of fields, similar to what was done in India. This would give rise to the world being able to access and outsource customer service functions to Africa. Once competencies have been developed in each country, it allows for intra-trade within Africa as well as exports outside of Africa. It also fosters opportunities to help each other enhance and perfect their competence. For example, if Zambia specialized in the development of large-scale furniture production, they could share lessons learned and assist with helping another African country, such as Liberia, develop something similar. Another advantage Africa has is that as newer technologies emerge, we are provided the opportunity to use the latest technology, having leapfrogged the legacy-based systems. An example of this could be seen in the early 2000s, where Africa began to adopt the cell phones in the area of telecommunications, thereby bypassing the need to set up the plain old telephone systems or landlines. The same is emerging today with access to newer technologies like solar panels, satellite internet, and more. As the adage goes, knowledge is power. This is true, but for this to work, it requires collaboration between the government,